Alright, Shalom. Kahul Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai. This is your brother Hawar making a video to feed the sheep, to edify the lambs. Shalom to the Akim wa Akwathim that are going to be watching this video. Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai Rakatham. Kahul Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai. Right, and first, I want to say a shout out to the officer Nakawama of Sakari, Philly. He sent this in our chat. And first thing I wanted to do was make a video on it, alright? Because y'all know I love going into this. I love going into this, man. Right, so it says, as you see, it says Canadian food prices expected to rise in 2021. And that shouldn't be surprising if you've been keeping your watch, right? That shouldn't be a surprise to you. Right, if you've been up on the high tower checking the news, measuring the times diligently, you would know what time we are coming into. Okay, this is Isaiah here. Oh, there goes my Facebook now. Hold on, give me a sec. Actually, let me read this in a second. I just actually, because this is pretty much what we're going into. Okay, let me start with the scripture. Matthew 16. I actually read this yesterday to myself. This is Matthew chapter 16. Yeah, it was in Isaiah 62. Okay, but here, this is Matthew 16:1. The Pharisees also with the Sadducees came tempting desired him that he would shew them a sign from heaven. He answered and said unto them, which is supposed to be in the red letter because it's Yahushai speaking, when it is evening, ye say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but ye cannot discern the signs of the times. A wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given unto it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas. And he left them and departed. Now we can see through watching the news and through looking at the prophecies that this is the end. We're at the end. All people will talk about we're at the end, but they'll say, oh no, it's not gonna be in our generation. It ain't gonna be. It's gonna be maybe 200, 100 years from now. How can a country that's built on debt, that is the people, the homelessness rate is rising, right? You had not only is poverty increasing in this place, and throughout, I'm just talking about America alone, but you had in America, what's it called, in 2018 there was flooding, 2019 and 2020. So already going into 2021, there's going to be a shortage of food, right? Because they're saying 2019 and 2020 was probably the worst. Right? 2019 was bad and 2020 was worse, I think. And then, so they weren't even able to get their annual harvest going into the next year. On top of them throwing out, the Most High putting plagues on these animals and the workers. These guys are shutting down the food plants, right? They're throwing out milk and poultry that's not needed, that's not in demand or in supply, because people are out of work. So I think it was for them to save money. I ain't too into that, but that's what they were doing. So naturally, going into the next year, there's going to be a shortage, but the Most High ain't turning back the plagues. Now, scriptures says, I'm just paraphrasing a lot of the scriptures. It says you're supposed to measure the time diligently in 2 Ezra 9. Right? Matthew 24 talks about it all the time. Let me get this in Isaiah 62. I'll read it off my Bible. my sword. It says, Isaiah 62:6, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mentions of Yahweh, keep not silence, and give him no rest till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. So we are the watchmen, watching and then making, and then going through the scriptures to edify and show y'all the prophecies and the signs of the times, because this is nothing but prophecies. We get that in Habakkuk. I never spell it right. I already know I'm gonna get it wrong, but I type it in. Hold on, let me look it up. Habakkuk. Habakkuk. It says Habakkuk 2. I'm gonna start at 2 and 2. Oh, you know what? Forget it. I'm gonna start at verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower. Right, standing on your watch and looking out, so watching the signs of the times, measuring it through the prophecies and scriptures, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Most High answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. There's plenty of visions that are yet for an appointed time, especially the one that the Most High has Habakkuk go into in a little bit into this chapter, which is going into Esau. Right? It says, but at the end, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. The Most High Yahweh is not a man that he should lie. Everything he says that's written is gonna come to pass. He said all the Edomites are gonna be exterminated. All the house of Esau is gonna be burnt. That's what's gonna happen. And not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. It says, but at the end, the vision will speak. The Most High. Let me get you an example. Second Ezra 16, and I'll start at verse 40. Alright. O my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. The Most High is about to bringing plagues upon this earth. So in those evils, he's telling you to be a pilgrim. A pilgrim is someone who has. Let me get it. A person who journeys to a sacred place for religious reasons, a travel or wander like a pilgrim. Person who makes a journey, often a long and difficult one, to a special place for religious reasons. Where's the special place we're trying to go back to? Mount Zion, to Jerusalem, to our homeland. But in those evils, we probably won't be able to just sit around and just relax anymore. We're going to be uncomfortable. We got to go through tribulations, but the Most High will deliver us out of those evils. Okay, 2nd Ezra 16 and 41. It says, here's an example of some evils that when in the vision, when it comes, it's going to speak as if the Most High is saying it to you right in your face. Right, for this time, we're in this time. He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away. He that buyeth, as one that will lose. There's people working and selling, thinking that they're gonna maintain their merchandise and their goods, and gonna be able to keep on working and continuing and doing this. Well, that's not what's gonna happen. You're gonna get ready to lose your things, and the things that you buy, they're gonna be costly. Inflation's gonna come. Right? It says, he that occupieth merchandise as he that hath no profit by it. He that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein. He that soweth as if he should not reap. So also he that planteth the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes. Going to them farmers. They that marry as they that shall get no children, and they that marry not as the widowers. And therefore they that labor, labor in vain. Why? Why is it that all of them that are laboring is going to be in vain, which is going to be Salakia, pointless? For strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses, and take their children captives, for in captivity and famine shall they get children. Right? Whoops. Right, this happened to us, right? But this is gonna happen. This is about to happen again because the curses are about to be on our enemies, right? And this is gonna happen in the last days in the Americas, right? Because it says, "And they that occupy the merchandise with robbery," because people are gonna go into your house, take your things, take your woman, take your kids, kill them, and then they're gonna occupy your stuff. The more they deck their cities, their houses, their possessions, and their own persons, the more will I be angry with them for their sin, saith the Most High. Right? Let me play this. I haven't watched it, so we can watch it together.
Many Canadians who are trying to make ends meet, and the cost of putting food on the table could be another hurdle next year. The latest edition of Canada's Food Price Report anticipates the cost of groceries will go up in 2021, some items by as much as 6.5%. Mike Armstrong explains why.
Something rare happened in the butcher business in 2020. The price of chicken, beef, and pork all went up. And butcher shop owner Patrick Dubo says that doesn't usually happen at the same time.
It is rare. Usually you have one that's able to save the other.
Well, there's a prediction it's going to happen again in 2021. If anyone was hoping their wallet might get a break, that doesn't appear likely.
Unfortunately, our models are suggesting otherwise.
Professor Sylvain Charlebois is the project leader behind the Canadian Food Price Report. Its prediction for 2021 would see a jump in the cost of most basic items in a shopping cart. Baked items will go up 3.5 to 5.5%, vegetables 4.5 to 6.5, and the same for meats. One of the biggest culprits is COVID-19. For example, meat producers have struggled. At times, packaging plants have had to be closed due to outbreaks. But it's not just that part of the supply chain that's a problem. It's all of them.
It's costing more to do everything in livestock and in processing.
The other big issue is weather and climate change. 2020 was a difficult year for growing in much of the U.S. That's meant, for example, produce grown here in Canada that would usually stay here is being sold to other markets and prices are going up. Put all those different increases together and what does it mean for the wallet? Well, an average Canadian family of 4 is spending about $12,508 on food in 2020. Next year, that's predicted to be close to $14,000.
Lock it, my mic was off. Let me play that back again.
Predicted to be close to 14,000.
Right.
Next.
And don't be surprised if it's that's even a more. They might be Esau probably being modest with it. It's probably gonna be more. Right. And Yahweh Shai said, "Woe to you that give suck in those days." Right. Let me see if I. Oh. I just gotta type in one word. Matthew 24. Okay, let me get off my phone. My whole Matthew 24 in my Bible is messed up. Okay, Matthew 24:19 it says, "And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days." Why? Because there's extra mouths for you to feed, man. There's going to be extra mouths for you to feed in those days. It's going to be a burden to you and your wallet. If the Most High, if you're not a part of the elect, and the Most High is not dealing with you, and you have children, it's going to be a burden. That's why we're talking about when back in Jerusalem we had our woman. I'm sure some of the men too were cannibalizing their children, right? Eating their own children. That's how bad it's going to get out here.
Next year, that's predicted to be close to 14,000, an increase of $695, about 5%.
I mean, that is a lot of money, man.
When food prices increase, it affects the most vulnerable most of all and drives up the need for food banks. But it also makes it harder for those food banks to buy what they need. Mike Armstrong, Global News, Montreal.
Right. So when the storehouses are found empty, after all this inflation, and the food prices go up, and people can hardly pay first of all, people ain't gonna be able to pay their houses. And they still trying to celebrate Christmas and get gifts. Y'all just bringing this on yourselves. Am I supposed to feel bad for you guys? No. Right, but it's 2nd Ezra 6. I'm gonna get it on my 2nd Ezra 6 and 22, and it says, "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouse shall suddenly be found empty." Right, he talked about he went into it was a plethora of reasons contributing to the fact that a rise in food, which it went into the farmers back in 2020, and COVID reasons and shut down of food plants and whatnot, different reasons, right? But that's what's coming. The houses are going to be found empty, the storehouses, and then you're going to have the food banks going to be found empty too. So people are going to start making moves. You're going to have to start making moves. These people, they ain't got the Most High with them. Which I pray that all y'all that be listening for edification and getting these comforting words that while it can be found are of that number. 'Cause if y'all ain't, we gonna be here for a long time. Hey, but clearly the elect's almost sealed. All right. Did I have any more precepts? I ain't really thinking of anything else right now at the moment, but yeah, man, you've been reporting on it. Let me get Ezekiel 13th chapter. I love getting this one. This Ezekiel 14:13. It says, "Son of man, when the land sinneth against me by trespassing grievously, then will I stretch out my hand upon it, and will break the staff of the bread thereof, and will send famine upon it, and will cut off man and beast from it." Right? And this, the prophecy is, Most High said, anything that Esau builds, he will throw down. And now you got that's why Greece, Rome got thrown down. Right? In America's, that's why these so-called white people don't want to call themselves Edomites, because the scriptures talks about anything they build, they'll throw down. Oh no, we're white, we're American. You ain't even white. Your skin's red. Where's the white on this? Your skin ain't white. Right? And then the texts are white. Her shirt, her jacket is black. Blazer, I think. Yeah, anything they build, the Most High will throw down. But where Israelites are, the Israelites don't repent, they're gonna get destroyed too. So it's always this is like always a best case scenario for the Most High to judge a place. And America having the majority, the Americas having a majority of Israelites and Edomites in one spot. What do you think is gonna happen to that place? Israelites were in Greece, Israelites were in Rome, they got thrown down. What do you think is gonna happen now? You can't run from the prophecies, man. No matter how much they try and paint over all the names of the nations and spread lies, the truth is coming out, and you can't hide from the Most High's judgment. So that's pretty much it. I don't want to drag it out too long. I just want to say, Kahala Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. I hope you're all edified. Shalom.